We're having our visit on February of 2010.
Yeah.
I once saw an Oprah show 5, 6, 7 years ago. Oprah went to this place, I think it was in Orange County. There was a doctor, and he had a machine. And you lay down on this thing, and you were pushed into this machine, and there are 387 cameras taking pictures of you in 3D of all your internal body organs, etc. Unlike an X-ray that just takes a one-dimensional picture of you, and then you spend a night in a hotel while they process all the stuff. You return the next day, and in all these monitors you see all of your internal organs, etc.
Okay.
And based upon these visual things, kind of like taking your car in for a checkup,
Right.
etc.
Okay.
The doctor can see things that can't be seen through conventional methods, and if you push it a little, you could ask the doctor, based upon how the carburetor looks and the transmission and the pumps and the rest of it, how long you can live.
Oh, well. Okay.
I remember watching this show, and I was fascinated by it.
That is fascinating.
So I called Orange County and I booked an appointment. And I drove down there, and
If your body continues the way it is, and we're talking about natural causes, okay?
yes, just based upon how the machine looks, just purely clinical. And they wheeled me into the machine. It wasn't uncomfortable at all. And, the cameras take all their pictures, and then I checked into a motel across the street, and I showed up the next morning.
Yeah.
And the doctor...
Did you ask him?
Well, first he gave me the readout about how my organs looked,
Okay.
including my liver.
Wow.
We did an analysis of that, and everything looked, knock wood, really good.
Yeah.
My daddy lived to be 99 years old. My mom didn't make it past her 70s, so I was curious. And then he came to that question. He said, okay, that's the basic report. And I said, well, I saw this TV show, and he said, do you want to know? Do you want to know what the expectation is based upon what we have, how long you will live? And I asked him, when you ask that question to people, do most people want to know, or would they rather pass? He says, most people don't ask. And I said, I'd like to know how old I'll be when I die. And he asked me why. And I said, well, if I walk out of here tomorrow and you tell me I've got 14 years, or if I walk out of here tomorrow and say, based upon this information, the car will last for another 43 years, it will influence how I choose to live the next year, 2 or 10 of my life. It will determine whether or not I go back to the post office and say, quit, whether I take the short-term payments and Social Security or the long.
Okay.
There are a lot of things.
Right.
Should I take the, should I try and get the horse ranch now, or can I wait? And I said, let me have it. And he gave me a number. I'm not going to say the number on television, but he gave me a number. I'm grateful for every moment I got, It wasn't too long, it wasn't too short. It was the way it was, based upon the photography. I thought about, that was the first time I thought about mortality. I had this done about 10 years ago, I think. 2 questions. 1, if you were put in the tube and had the stuff done, would you want to know how much longer you will live? And 2, what are your personal reflections on your own mortality and how you would like to be remembered?
My friend, I have a girlfriend who, I don't know if she's a hypochondriac, but she does tend to talk about how she doesn't feel good all the time. And she was saying last night that on her tombstone.
Yes, on her tombstone.
On her tombstone. Sorry.
It's okay. I'd like to meet her.
You know her, I'm sure. On her tombstone, it just say, "I told you I was sick." The answer is no. I would not. First of all, I would not trust that, because that has to do with just the age of your body. There's so many other things that have to do with death, from your mind to external circumstances. So certainly I would not want to hear it from him. I've heard about the barks of trees in India, the place you can go to, where I think I would tend to put more stock in that, but I wouldn't want to know from that either. No, I do not want to know. That's number one. I don't have a problem with death. I totally get that, as the Course in Miracles says, there is no death, the Son of God is free. I think I'm where most people are. I don't have a problem with death, but I have a real problem with dying. Certain ways to go. Ruth Gordon, the actress Ruth Gordon, sat down to tea and just closed her eyes, and that was it. And I think one day that's how we'll all pass. The Course in Miracles says, one day you will realize death is not the punishment but the reward. And when the Course in Miracles talks about what death will be like for people, when we all have evolved to that enlightened place where we'll just drop the bodies, you know, our body will be dropped like a suit of clothes with gratitude to it for a job well done. So I don't have a problem with the concept of passing from this body. I just, where I get hung up sometimes is how it goes down. In terms of how I'm remembered, I think that people, I think already in my life, I think that I have not done everything yet that I can do. And I don't think that I have, in the time I've already lived, done everything I could have done, which causes me some sadness, but that doesn't mean I haven't done anything. So I have the satisfaction while alive of feeling that I have done work in my life that has brought some comfort and served some people. I have satisfaction in that. Regrets in areas and situations where I could have done more, could have been better. But even there, I feel that people whose opinion I respect would look and know that I have tried to learn whatever lessons are to be learned. I have not yet stepped into that place within myself that we were talking about earlier, which is a radical allowance to myself and permission to myself to be everything I could be in this life. I hope that I get there in this life. That would give me great joy. And I think that these are the kinds of things we know about on our deathbed. So I hope to die happy, knowing that I did what I came here to do. And the only person in terms of memory, so I hope that there's respect in my memory. I hope that I live a good life from here on out. I hope that I'm remembered with respect for a woman who tried. The only individual that I'm deeply concerned with how I'm remembered is my daughter. So I hope to I hope I'm remembered with love. I know I'll be remembered with love, but I think there's a love that's comforting and comfortable and peaceful, and there's love that's tortured. And my daughter and I certainly do not have a tortured relationship, but I hope that it continues over the years that I have left on this earth to be a love that I would just love to think that after I die, that my daughter's memory of me is something that brings her joy.